as a service. The Barong Insurance Agency gearing up for the first meeting of the TIF district. That's the big story for 7:30. I'm John Matthews. Weatherford Public Schools Superintendent Mark Harmon told the School Board of Education this week that he sits on the Tax Increment Financing District Committee that was recently formed by the city of Weatherford in an effort to bring economic development to the city. Harmon says it's unclear how the TIF district will affect Weatherford Public Schools.
I'll be able to get a look and see how the TIF district is going to be structured. It'll have to go to the city council for approval before it becomes into effect. Depending on how it's structured, it could have a direct impact on either our finances, either our ability, our bonding capacity, or even our revenue streams going forward.
Harmon says the first meeting of the TIF committee will be held July 7th. As the June 16th primary election approaches, voters will decide the fate of State Question 832, which is a measure to raise the state's minimum wage. Mike Smith has more.
Custer County OSU Extension Director Larry Bryan suggests voters research the measure before voting.
Make sure you understand that thing and look at it before you make a decision. It does affect agriculture.
Passage of State Question 832 would pave the way for multi-step increases to 2029 and beyond, which then would be tied to the Consumer Price Index. Mike Smith, Right Radio News.
Thank you, Mike. With the 4th of July holiday approaching, Weatherford Fire Department reminds residents that the discharge of fireworks within city limits remains prohibited. Fire officials say Oklahoma's new Rockets Red Glare Act has changed state law regarding the sale and use of some fireworks. However, the new legislation does not override the city's ordinance prohibiting fireworks within city limits. We'll have more news coming up next.
Here's Jeff Barong.
We are very diligent about looking at what your current coverages are and seeing what can be done to improve your situation, whether that means raising your property values, whether that means increasing your liability limit, or just paying attention to all the details that make your business unique or your personal situation unique.
For all types of insurance, it's Barong Insurance, the agency service-built. Barong Insurance.
Crews will be doing road work near Clinton this week, says Custer County District 1 Commissioner Wade Anders.
Last week we've done 1.5 miles of oil chipping road and had a pause for a little while. So I was able to send one of my trucks over there, but we were getting it ready and we got everything going and we finished it last week. This week we're going to do another right at 2 miles this week, which is just north of Clinton and on correction line. So those miles through there is where we'll be working.
Anders says the road work will connect back to U.S. Highway 183. The Independence Holiday celebration in the town of Butler will be held later this month. Fire Chief Jay Baker says the event will be held on June 27th.
We all meet in the park about 6 that evening, and we serve hot dogs, chips, and stuff to the community, and drinks are provided. You can buy pulled pork sandwiches for $5. That money gets all donated back to the department also. Then around 10 o'clock at night, we have a pretty big fireworks show.
Chief Baker says the funds will be used to purchase fire equipment for the department. The Heartland of America Museum in Weatherford has plans for an upcoming exhibit, says Director Pat Smith.
We'll be working on a Route 66 exhibit on the 4th gallery in the museum, and this will tell about Route 66 in this area and all the way through Oklahoma from the beginning to the end, and will show how Route 66 affected Weatherford and the other areas here when it went through, and how the businesses began to thrive when Route 66 came through our towns.
Smith says the exhibit will offer an educational experience for students. The exhibit will also have a large map and a mock-up of a service station formerly located in Weatherford. Here's state news with the Radio Oklahoma Network.
News to the Radio Oklahoma News Network. I'm Ken Johnson. A McLean County man is in jail for allegedly stealing oil-filled equipment from various locations. Officials with the OSBI say Jonathan Stamper was taken into custody after officers served a search warrant at his home. The public library in Enid is the hub of a special collection of items lost during an April tornado. Library Director Terry Ray says dozens of items tell the story of Enid.
Those stories mean things, and we want to be able to tell those stories and to help people retain that information and pass that story down to the next generation.
For the second year in a row, Oklahoma Farm Bureau Insurance donating to Coats for Kids. Greg Golden is the Vice President of Sales and Marketing.
Looks like we're going to have over 9,400 coats that we're going to distribute, all new coats this year.
You can donate new coats at any Oklahoma Farm Bureau insurance office through August 31st. Radio Oklahoma News Network, I'm Ken Johnson.
News at 7:30. A service of Barong Insurance Agency. Coming up next, we'll look at local funeral services after a word from Lee Hometown Funeral Home.
When you lose a loved one, it's important to have someone who's compassionate, understanding, and personal. Brandon Lee with Lee's Hometown Funeral Home in Clinton is dedicated to honoring your loved ones with heartfelt service. His goal is to create meaningful tributes that celebrate lives while guiding you with every step of the final process. Whether it's a traditional service, cremation, or pre-planning, if you have already purchased a funeral plan elsewhere, they will honor it as if it was their own. At Lee Hometown Funeral Home, they continue the tradition of caring and personal service. Please visit today to experience the difference.
Funeral services for 96-year-old Patsy Ruth Baker will be held today at 1 o'clock at the Hinton Missionary Baptist Church. Burial will be held at Lukiba Cemetery under the direction of Turner Funeral Home of Hinton. A celebration of life for 20-year-old Alicia Rose Bidwell McDonough will be held today at 1:30 at the Greenfield Baptist Church. She works as an independent contractor in the healthcare industry. Cremation services were entrusted to Turner Funeral Homes of Hinton, Gary, and Binger. Graveside services for 96-year-old Billy Mack Anderson will be held today at 2 o'clock at the Saradoxie Cemetery. She worked on the farm at Turpin Ranch. Services under the direction of Winery Funeral Service and Cremation Center. Memorial services for 72-year-old Janice Sue Crosby will be held Thursday at 10 o'clock at the Eric Church of Christ. Final resting place will be at the Eric Cemetery. Services under the direction of Winery Funeral Service and Cremation Center in Elk City. Today's funeral notice is a service of Brandon Lee at Lee Hometown Funeral Home in Clinton.